August 2026, the fall of the political spectacle. The World Astrological Predictive Report of this month, the fall of the political spectacle and the clash with reality. This is the moment of truth. August doesn't come to ask permission nor to offer explanation. This month is a trial by fire for the global power, a reckoning where media pyrotechnics clash head on with reality. So, I will be talking about this theme in this video, and also I will be sharing with you some information for personal astrology and how August will affect you. So, go check out your birth chart and see where all these events and transits of this month are going to be affecting you. So, I invite you all to subscribe and share. Thank you for all of you who are watching, and I thank you especially to those who leave me your comments because you are helping me to make this channel to grow. So August 2026, we spent far too long waiting public figures prop up the world with nothing but rhetoric, ego, and marketing. But August skies are about to cut off the narrative air supply. We're right in the middle of the eclipse season, Leo Aquarius. I invite you all to watch my latest video about the lunar nodes and Leo Aquarius season. The axis that pits individual ego against centralized leadership, which refers Leo against the relentless force of the masses, the collective, and the reality of the system that is representative of Aquarium. The tension is palpable, and the question is simple: what happens when the spotlight goes out on the stage of the leaders? So, this is a moment where we are going to see a big crisis of institutions, a political a crisis also everywhere around the world. We are going to see those leaders who are so center scene, like those who like to speak out loud in the media with big lights, and the falling of that speech and those you know those I think this is a closure because the south lunar node is in Leo, and the south lunar node is the closure of something. And for the world, this is talking about figures that are in power. We can see some leader falling down from the sky. Okay, we also can see some other people that maybe people that are famous, in every aspect, could be some people from the sports, or maybe actors, actresses, or singers, or um, people in the media. They are going to be showing something about the reality of their lives, or their own identity. And it's a time where a lot of people is going to be having a crash. So I think that we have to be prepared for the political and institutional disaster, because something big is coming here, and this is something that also is related with fixed signs. So the effects of the eclipses are going to be for a long time. Okay, it's not something that happens only or mostly that day or this month. It could be something that is going to be revealed to all of us around the world in the next months, and why not the next year. So some information is going to be revealed, and something is going to be, something that was wanted to be hidden is going to be in the spotlight, and we are going to be finding out some truth, okay, about a lot of people. Be prepared. Okay, so the hour of truth, the end of pyrotechnics. August is a trial by fire for global power, a reckoning where media narrative collides head on with reality. We have long seen public figures sustained solely by discourse, ego, and marketing, but the sky is coming to cut off that fiction. Also, the Leo Aquarius axis, we face the eclipse axis, centralized leadership and ego, which is Leo, against the implacable force of collective and reality that is Aquarius. The big question is what happens when the stage leader's spotlights suddenly go dark? The first week of August, the book and diplomacy. August the 3rd, we have Chiron retrograde in Toro, a blow to the material realm, land, food, and real money. It exposed the fragility of living costs and the flaws of the traditional banking systems. We have also on Thursday, August the 6th, Venus enters in Libra. Canceliers will try to paper over the disaster with smiles and protocol, but it's merely the cosmetic calm before the real impact, because we have to understand that Venus is in her sign, okay, in Libra, the sign of international relationship, agreements, everything that is related with harmony, peace, but uh, Venus is going to be in a square with Mars in the sign of Cancer, and is going to be in an opposition with Neptune in Aries and with Saturn in Aries. So this transit of Venus in Libra is not going to be easy. It's not going to be something, I think something that is nice and sweet. I think that is going to be really impossible to get to those agreements, to the peace for the world. I also think that we are going to see really soon some other conflict. Okay, some other tension, military tension, and a possible war in between other countries, or some countries that are going to be also participating in the conflicts that we are seeing happening right now. Okay, so don't expect peace and nothing related to that, because this is not the timing. The week two, the tension and rhetoric. The sun is going to be, I'm sorry, August the 9th, Mercury is going to enter in Leo. The microphone volume turns up, the aggressivity in declaration and media propaganda. The August 11th, Mars is going into Cancer. Concerned masses react viscerally in defense of their homeland and security. Mars in Cancer is, remember that Cancer is a sign of patriotism, nationalism, the identity of belonging, but also is the conditions of life, the conditions of the weather. So we are seeing a lot of disasters right now, and Mars is bringing us some information about how those disasters are going to be continuing, and how this is going to be more and more aggressive, okay? But also is the sense of defending our land, defending our country, defending, what is ours, defending yourself, defending your quality of life, of your conditions of life. So Mars here is not happy because it's in falling, that this Cancer is not the sign that Mars loves the most, but is a sign where he can be either, I don't know, he's reacting to something, or he's taking action to something, okay? And this kind of an energy of defensive wound. Okay, the social climate, risk of citizen uprisings and internal friction with the harmed forces. Remember this, because we are seeing a lot of anarchist climate right now, and this is so related with Aquarius, the French Revolution, Pluto there. So something related with this anarchy energy is flowing all around the world. Okay, we have in the 12th of August the total solar eclipse in Leo, the definitive turning point. Leo represents the stage and the narcissistic leader who demands applause. A total eclipse shut off the lights mid show. Okay, the final curtain calls of leaders with empathy, charisma. It marks the downfall, power vacuum, and irreversible disgrace of global elites. I think we are going to see again with these eclipses, and we have to understand that this is the first. This is recently starting. Okay, um, these leaderships, these famous people, all these people that are, with the crowns, okay, in the in the in the old astrology and mundane astrology specifically, they thought that this is the falling down of the crowns. So I think we are going to see that happening a lot. People who may die, people who may disappear, people who may closing their cycles in fame, maybe people who are falling down because something is revealed about their reality or their real identity. And I think this is going to be something we are going to be seeing in the big screens, because it's about people who is exposed, in the big screen. Okay, and this is affecting not only the leaders all around the world, it's affecting also the institutions, and this is a big crash for the institutional power. Okay, week 3, fall promises and sabotage. We have on August 15, Mercury conjunct or join Jupiter, panicked governments selling smoke. Okay, big speeches, they are saying a lot of things and talking about the greatness of themselves, but that is falling down. Historic economic announcements could be happening also with inflated data, to quell the post-eclipse panic. Okay, on August 17, we have Mars square Neptune, espionage, conspiracies, and budget military operations driven by disinformation, fear, or pure governmental habits. So, this is a moment of confusion. Remember that Mars is. Uh, it will be like these statements about we are going to be defending our country, the land, anyone is touching us, and everything that is related with those defensive statements. And military themes also are here, but I think this is only like a masquerade, because Neptune is not showing the truth. Neptune in mundane astrology is a planet of confusion, is a planet of conspiracy, is a planet of chaos. And that is what is bringing here, okay? Something that they are going to be saying out loud with those microphones, Mercury and Jupiter together, but also this Mars square in Neptune. They are going to be saying big things, but it's only for the scene. So in August the 21st, we have Venus, as I said at the beginning, in opposition with Saturn in Aries. So the breakdown of international agreements. Alliances collide with authoritarian walls and call financial sanctions. So I don't really see here the possibility that we are going to be a ceasefire or some kind of peace agreement. Okay, week 4, the hour of the people, August 22 until 27, Virgo, critical mass. Okay, because we are going to be starting Virgo season, and when the sun enters in Virgo, is going to be showing um, Mercury there. Okay, so the show ends and the bill arrives. Remember that Virgo is a sign who wants the facts, the reality as it is in concrete methods of you know of numbers and everything that is in the Excel of the reality. So Virgo demands audits, hard data, and the real management. Fiscal and administrative truth comes to light with no room for political spin. So this is some other issue, because I think that these realities who are being showing now, and the data is there, so the masquerade is falling down again. What some kind of what some leaders wants to show, like this country is growing so spectacular, everything is, but the reality is showing other way. So that is going to be in the scene also. August 28, the lunar eclipse in Pisces. This is a partial lunar eclipse, okay? And this is the following the solar shock wave. This lunar eclipse in Pisces dissolve collective illusions. People are going to be losing all the expectations in their leaders and in their statements and their words, like the people is starting to be in this aspect of more and more disrespect for the states, the leaderships, the institutions, and as I said before, these anarchism movements are going to start flowing all around the world. Okay, so the end of the month and the realignment, the August 30, we have Jupiter trine Saturn, okay? But this is a construction. This is something that is like they are getting like some agreement, Jupiter and Saturn in fire signs, and the initial sign of Aries and the potential of authenticity and the leaders in Leo, but something is ending while Saturn is building the new global order for the 2030. So the smokes begins to clear following the up we have all the in the streets and the collapse of the spectacle. These aspects allowed for the drafting of new laws, realistic territorial pacts, and solid economic structures to stabilize what remains, but in a construction that is going to be happening all along the way. It's not for tomorrow and it's not for right now. Okay, this is a construction. So before all the energy is going to be showing us, the reality as it is, the truth of things, then we will see the opportunity of uh, realignment, rebuilding something, but for a place more honest, something like that. Okay, so let me see what else I can say here for you. We have right now the the aspects of this month, August, but for personal, personal astrology, what this is saying for you, and is beyond the myth and the choices and consciousness that we need to take. Okay, we have here first the Chiron retrograde in Toro. It's a period of in-deep review of being begins, focusing on resources, material security. Also, Chiron invites a pragmatic reevaluation of financial management, how you are how you are, um, you know, getting with your finances, with your economy, okay, and is the opportunity to correct the past economic inconsistencies and consolidate a solid foundation of support. On August the 6th, we have Venus enters in Libra, Venus in its domicile, okay? So creates a favorable environment for diplomacy, contracts, negotiation, for relationships also. Um, but you have to be aware of that this is only happening if you can put, your boundaries with some diplomacy, because remember that Venus is going to be a square in Mars soon in Cancer. So if you are acting from the from your wound, and you feel like you have to defend yourself from others, that is going to create more and more problems and crashings, but if you can make clear your boundaries with diplomacy and with self-respect, maybe those are going to be the new fundamentals of your relationships. Okay, so also we have Mercury getting in Leo. Is a moment of communication, conviction, and visibility. Okay, you need to show to the world your projects. Okay, and communicate your decisions with authority. Okay, also Mars getting in Cancer, the focus is going to be in the actions, at themes of your family, your home, your quality of life, and your spaces of belonging. This energy requires mature channeling, because instead of reaching defensively to vulnerability, it's time to strengthen emotional foundations and protect truly values assets. Okay. Then we have the total eclipse in Leo, a milestone of personal redefinition. The solar eclipse marked the conclusion of a cycle projection and the beginning of a new stage of authenticity. These events invite us to examine our personal narrative, projects, or attitudes based solely on seeking external validation. And this is going to lose power, allowing for the emergence of the much more genuine things. Okay, conscious leadership aligned with one true life purpose that you have right now. Also, we are going to have Mercury in the August 15, join Jupiter in Leo. The strategic vision and intellectual optimism are amplified. Okay, it's an excellent time for large scale planning. On August 17, we are going to have Mars in Cancer squares Neptune in Aries. It demands almost caution and verification of the information before we act. It's recommended to avoid impulsive decision motivated by ambiguous perceptions of lack of clarity, because Neptune is confusing. Okay, so be careful with that. On August 21st, Venus in Libra opposite Saturn in Aries. One aspect that brings realism to financial relationships and agreements is Saturn influence. It calls for maturity, commitment, and the establishment of healthy boundaries. We have in the 22nd to the 27th of August, we have the Sun getting in Virgo, the analysis of your reality, and the Sun is going to be showing Mercury there. Following the personal redefinition phase of the first eclipse of the month, the Leo eclipse, the focus shifts to pragmatic organization. It's time to audit routines, optimize work methods, take care of physical health, and redefine daily logistics. Okay, so check out your life, what you are doing with your time, and how you are, like, which is your strategy in terms of get more effective. Okay, so on August the 3rd, Jupiter in Cancers trine this to Saturn in Aries. The month concludes with remarkably stable configuration. This harmonious trines balances expansion with discipline, allowing decisions made during August to be grounded in solid, sustainable, and highly productive foundations. Remember that this is something we are building for the future, not for right now. Okay, so ending the month, we are going to be like saying, okay, everything that I, I work in myself. I am conscious right now. Everything that I know I have to let go. This is closing. New projects that you have, you want to build something new. This trine with Jupiter and Saturn is saying to you, this is the opportunity to do it with time, with consistency, and get your hands into work. So I see you in my next video, and thank you all for watching.